Hey everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. Two things before we start. Number one, it is extremely hot out here, so I might start sweating. Sorry about it. And number two, my hair air dried today, and it gets really puffy when it air dries. So I might fidget with it a lot. Sorry in advance, I'm probably going to. Today I'm going to be telling you a story time about a date that I went on, and I think it's the only real date that I've ever been on, forever alone. We're gonna call the kid Alex, so that will be his name for the story's sake. Basically, like, looking in hindsight, the things that we did on the date could come directly out of a Nicholas Sparks movie. However, in reality, it wasn't anything like a Nicholas Sparks movie, so I'll just get into it. You'll know what I'm talking about as we go. So Alex was one of those people that lived in the same general area as me, but we didn't know each other. But we just knew we lived in the same area, had mutual friends, that kind of thing. Also, we would always like each other's pictures, and he was pretty cute. Like, not super cute, but pretty cute. So I was like, Alex is pretty cute. So one day I get a DM from Alex on Instagram. So it was an Insta DM. I open the DM, and he basically is asking me out on a date. And he says it straight up, like, I'd love to take you out on a date sometime. And I'm thinking, go Alex! Like, most guys, if they were to approach a female, they would ask them if they wanted to hang out or for some Netflix and chill stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he actually asked me on a date. So I thought, why not? So we start texting and everything for a couple of days. Alex then plans to pick me up on like a Tuesday, or I don't remember what day of the week it was. This was last summer that this happened. So he picks me up one night and he pulls into the driveway. He's driving a Jeep that doesn't have car doors, doesn't have a roof, and it doesn't have a seatbelt. But I get into this death trap anyway. Honestly, I don't know if I should have gotten in the car. This is a stranger and he doesn't even have a seatbelt. And I have no idea how good of a driver he is at all. But I did it anyway because YOLO, I don't know. We get in the car, the conversation is going pretty smooth. He seems really nice. I'm having a good time so far. And I'm a little nervous because no guy's really like asked me on a date like this before. I asked him, where are we going? Because I don't think he ever told me. And then he goes, we're gonna go to the airport. And I'm like, what? Okay. The only airports that I've ever heard of or been to were these big airports that were about an hour away. And I'm thinking, what is going on? So we start driving and we're on these back roads. Like, there's no street lights or anything, and he's going pretty fast. And I'm like, oh God, I really hope we don't crash. I'm gonna be ejected from this Jeep, literally. Eventually we end up pulling into this like gated backwoods airport, and I never even knew that there were a ton of small airports around the area that hold smaller planes, like personal owned planes. But yeah, that exists apparently. So we go in, and this place is not well lit. It's very dark. You can barely see anything. And then there's a huge runway, but there's no planes on it. So we walk out onto the runway, and I'm sketched out at this point, very sketched out, because I'm with a strange boy at a very low lit airport, and bad things could have happened, but they didn't. But they could have. So we're walking on the airport tracks, and then my dad calls me, and I'm like, so I answer it, and he's like, hey, just wanted to make sure you're okay, which, they were just making sure that I was still good, because this is a strange boy I met online, so. Yay, go me. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, it's okay, don't worry. So then we are just walking on the airport, the runway, and he's like, this is where I like to go when I want to think, all this stuff, and we're just kind of like hanging out. And then he's like, I'm gonna take you to another airport. So I'm like, oh, there's more. Okay. So we get back in the car, or back into the death trap, I should say. We're going towards the city more, kind of. Like, I knew where this general area was, so I was like, okay, this is alright. So we go into the second airport, and he asked to like use keys or codes to like get in. I don't know, like there was a gate that he had to open and everything, because it's like authorized personnel only. I think this is a place, it's like a much bigger airport, but still not big. Like, there's a lot of planes parked there and cars and stuff. So we pull into the parking lot of this less sketchy airport, but still very small airport. He parks his car right in front of like a runway, and we sit on the hood of his car. I get to watch the planes take off and land, and it's really cool. And I'm like, wow, this is just like that song Cop Car by Keith Urban. We're literally watching planes land and take off. Like, that's so cool. And I've never even, at this point, I don't think I'd ever been on a plane. I'd never been on a plane, so I was like, I've never seen planes land and take off, so that's pretty cool. And he was, of course, in shock, like, oh my god, I have to take you flying. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm a pilot. So after we're sitting on the hood and we're talking about school and stuff, and I don't even know, like, this was a while ago, but I don't remember exactly what we talked about. After a while, I think he's like, here, come lay down with me on the ground. And I was like, okay. So we laid on the ground, like next to each other, and we looked up at the stars. This kid also says that his favorite movie is The Notebook. And now I'm knowing, like, oh, this is where you get these cool ideas. You get it from those romantic movies. We're laying on the ground looking at the stars, and it's really cool. I'm like, this is a cool date. I think that we get to talking about the universe and deep stuff. On a personal level, I was not really feeling this kid that much, but I still was enjoying myself and having a good time. And the things that we were doing were pretty cool, so whatever. We get back in the car after watching a plane land, and it was really cool. I was like, oh. And he drives me over to like these sheds. There's like really big sheds. And he's like, here, I'm gonna take you to my plane. And I'm like, oh, this kid has a plane. Awesome. He gets his keys and he unlocks the door. And then we go inside and there's literally a plane in there and a couch. So we go inside the plane and it was so cool. Like, I've never been in the passenger seat of a plane before. And I put like the headset on and it was really cool. And I got to see all of the modules and buttons and stuff that I don't know how to describe at all because I know nothing about planes. Yep. And I think he like turned it on so the battery, like, things lit up. It was really cool. I wish I like took a picture or something, but no, you don't really want to take like a Snapchat or something on the first date, so didn't do that. So then we get out of the plane and we go back outside, and it's a lot darker in this area because it's not near the runway. And then he turns on like a country station and he asked me to dance. Well, I did it, obviously. So we started dancing, and it was like slow dance, and we were just kind of like going back and forth, and I was like, this is nice. However, I still felt awkward because I'm not good at dancing, and I don't know, dancing with someone you just met, okay, I should rephrase that. Slow dancing with someone you just met is a little uncomfortable, at least for me. I don't know, but it was still like, I mean, basically on this date, so far we've watched planes land and take off, looked up at the stars, and slow danced. The only ones around. Straight from a Nicholas Sparks movie, honestly. And this was my first real date, so I was pretty, content. So then we get in the car and we're gonna go home now. He had been asking me questions about me personally. I was explaining to him that I really was like a good girl, like I didn't do anything bad ever. Anything remotely bad. Nope, wasn't about it. Just not my thing. So he asked me, like, have you ever smoked a cigar before? And of course I hadn't smoked a cigar before. So then he's like, you're gonna smoke a cigar today. He's like, I need to correct you, all this stuff. And I'm like, you really don't, but you can try. It's not gonna work. But I was legal. I'm 18 and you're allowed to smoke a cigar if you're 18. So I was like, you know what, why not? I have never tried anything, so I can try a cigar. Like, it literally is nothing. You just puff out smoke, whatever. So we go to the gas station. He buys two of his like favorite cigars, and they're like the thin kind. I don't know. I try like a puff of it in my mouth, and it's not bad. It tastes like sugar. I don't know. And I was like, cool, now I've smoked a cigar. I've added some life experience. Then he tells me that I need to inhale the cigar, and I didn't know that you weren't supposed to, but apparently you're not supposed to inhale cigars. So I try it, and it's awful, and I'm like, my throat is burning, and I need water, and I'm coughing, and it was not cute. Why, Alex? Why? So then he drives me home, and the whole time he was telling me, he's like, since you've never been the first one, because he asked a lot of personal questions, honestly, like pushing the boundaries a little bit. I didn't really care, because I don't have many secrets or anything, but it's still kind of like, the whole time throughout this date, he kind of like wanted to really give me some like firsts, you know? So he got the like first cigar or whatever, and the whole time he told me, he's like, I'm not gonna kiss you on this date, but you have to kiss me since you've never been the first one to kiss a guy. And I'm like, it was just weird to me, but I don't know, like maybe I don't know. But we get back in my driveway, and I think he wanted me to kiss him, but I was like, swerve, because I wasn't really feeling it, but it's still like a cool date. But honestly, he probably did this with so many girls. Like, he has this whole pilot thing that he can use, and he can just take these girls to his airport and watch planes take off. Like, I'm sure he's done it a million times, so whatever. It was a cool date, basically out of a Nicholas Sparks movie. Besides Alex himself and the cigar and the awkwardness that came along with some of it, could be right in a movie. But yeah, so that was my story about that only date that I've been on. He did ask me to go on another date a couple times after that, but I just wasn't feeling him, so it didn't happen. And I'm not the type to like waste my time on someone that I don't see any like a potential relationship out of, so I was like, nah. Alex, if you're watching this, you were really cool and nice. I'm pretty sure since then, like over the course of this year, like he's asked me to fly to Ocean City with him, and he's asked me to fly to New York with him. I'm not trying to die, so yeah. Sorry, Alex, I'm not gonna get in the plane with you ever. Like, no. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My food just arrived via my brother, so I'm about to go chow down. Oh yeah! I will see you guys next week. Leave your feedback and comments below. Please like this video if you'd like to see more stories about my life. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys next week. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.